6'1" to 6'3", Carvalho is a tall fighter and fights tall and has a definite reach advantage. Needs to keep Lyoto to the outside.
With the official introductions, here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator Hawaii is now set for tonight's co-main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Live on DAZN, we introduce the blue corner first. At 6'3", weighing in 186.5 pounds, the former Bellator middleweight world champion tonight brings 15 professional victories, only 2 defeats. From Curitiba, Paraná, Brazil, presenting Rafael Carvalho. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner, at 6'1", weighing in 185.9 pounds, the former light heavyweight world champion tonight makes his Bellator debut, bringing an impressive 24 professional victories, along with 8 defeats. Hailing from Belém, Brazil, introducing Lyoto, the Dragon Machida. In charge of the action, Michael Bell.
Rafael. All right, gentlemen, you got your instructions backstage. Defend yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Best of luck to both of you.
Referee Mike Bell with final instructions. Carvalho looking to get back on the winning track as he welcomes Lyoto Machida to Bellator MMA. Machida's faced a murderer's row of competition and has reigned supreme. How will he fare in his Bellator MMA debut? The 2 Brazilians touch gloves as a show of sportsmanship. Machida in the red gloves. It is Carvalho in the blue gloves, the Muay Thai of the Curitiba fighter, and of course, the Shotokan Karate of, well, with all due respect to Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, Mr. Lyoto Machida. And it'll be interesting. What do you look for early in this fight, John?
What I look for in this is Lyoto is a master at controlling the distance in a fight against his opponent. And I look for Rafael Carvalho. What I want to see out of him is I want to see him take chances. I want to see him crush that distance in time. Don't be sloppy, but take chances in coming inside and landing your hands or throwing good, effective kicks.
Carvalho switching stances, and he told us that working with his coach, Andre Dida, that he wanted to introduce something new in this fight. He went back, watched some of his older fights before he came to Bellator. He says he has to bring that violent spirit back as they close the gap. And Carvalho backs Machida to the fence. Who do you give the edge to in the clinch?
You know, honestly, in the clinch, I believe the clinch and the ground game, the advantage goes to Lyoto Machida. I have watched Rafael Carvalho when he's in the clinch. He was in the clinch a lot against a guy like Joe Schilling, and he doesn't seem to do as much work as he should, and he tends to lose position. So right now, if he's in this position, start utilizing knee strikes. You open up on him, and that's going to tell me that I think a little bit off target with the knee.
Get over here. Get over there.
Carvalho won the vacant Bellator middleweight title via second-round liver kick against Brandon Halsey in October 2015. Made 3 consecutive title defenses, tying with Alexander Shlemenko for most in history, but again lost the title to Gegard Mousasi in his last fight. Lands a right hand and again drives Machida to the fence,
which is unusual. I did not see that. In watching both these guys, knowing both of them, I didn't think Carvalho would want to actually get into a grappling exchange, even in the stand-up with Lyoto. I thought he would try to utilize power to break down what Lyoto does.
Carvalho telling us that Machida throws those straight strikes, works very well in the counterattack. Of course, has the front kicks, which are his lethal weapon. So Carvalho has to stay alert at all times, not leave room for mistakes, and not be lulled into that false sense of security that Machida is so adept at doing.
Yeah, and this is exactly what happened with Rafael when he was with Joe Schilling. Turning of that position, he needs to be very careful if he's going to be in that clinch. Don't let him get you to your back against the fence.
Machida already leaking like a political document here in the first round as he comes forward, but Carvalho staying out of range. Both of them, well, Machida now switching to a southpaw stance. The feeling out process continues.
And that nose happened based off of that counter right hand that Rafael threw when Lyoto came at him.
Inside, low kick by Machida. Body kick by Carvalho. Carvalho moving with Machida. There's a lead left hand from the southpaw stance by Machida. Blocks that kick by Carvalho. Machida at the age of 40 on a 2-fight win streak. In his first fight in Bellator. Carvalho, 32 years of age, 6-1 in the Bellator cage. 15-2 overall with 12 victories via forma knockout. And Carvalho has Machida on the ground, but it's Machida who's unloading on Carvalho with strikes from his back, and back to his feet goes Machida.
I'm impressed that Rafael Carvalho believes that he can out-grapple Lyoto Machida, and he's going after it because in all of his fights before, he's always tried to avoid that grappling exchange. He is a huge 185-pound fighter. You can see how big he is, because Lyoto is a guy that was the light heavyweight title holder, and you can see that Carvalho is bigger than Lyoto by quite a bit in this fight at 185.
Final minute of the first round. Carvalho feinting. Machida on that back foot, pawing at Carvalho with his right hand. There's that kick by Machida, follows up with a left hand. Under 30 seconds left in the opening round. Oh, and Carvalho walked into that counter right of Machida. 15 seconds, Machida tags Carvalho with the left.
One of the things you'll see is when Machida goes to an orthodox stance, he likes to bring that right leg up through the middle. Carvalho's got to be careful of that.
Effective counterattack from Lyoto Machida down the stretch.
Time.
That's that straight right hand. Right there, that's what hurt the nose of Lyoto Machida. You see when Carvalho takes the fight to the ground, Lyoto tries to open up. None of those shots are damaging, but it is at least creating a situation where Carvalho was not able to control the position, and Lyoto was able to get himself right back to his feet.
Trabalha mais a mão da frente, mais o jab. E continua chutando mais. Lembra? Vem a informação da mão, entra com a perna. Vem da mão, vem da perna e entra com a mão. Quebrou o nariz dele. Foi no olho e o escudo na mão. Tá baixando. Foi aí para você tomar. Gritou, cai batendo. Foi aí que você pegou.
Herschel Walker, the NFL legend, and believe it or not, a man who actually competed in mixed martial arts. Yeah, 2-0, call both of those fights a two-time NFL Pro Bowl selection. And I told you, Neiman Gracie popping a bottle of Le Chemin Noir with 50 Cent as Gracie advances to the semifinals of the Bellator welterweight Grand Prix. And we now begin round 2 of this middleweight matchup between Machida and Carvalho. Your unofficial scorecard after 5 minutes.
Unofficially, I have Carvalho winning that round. He controlled the location of the fight, landed the better strikes, and that's the reason he gets around.
Lead right uppercut by Machida. Oh, and that left head kick blocked by Carvalho. But Machida going the kicking route to kick off round 2.
Machida's coming into the second round. There is no doubt that his nose is broken from that straight right hand that Rafael Carvalho hit him with.
Carvalho trying to close the range. And there, Carvalho catches Machida momentarily, and Machida retreating. Carvalho at 6'3", bigger than the 6'1", Lyoto Machida, now putting all his weight on the 40-year-old here in round 2.
He's not only taller, he is physically bigger than Lyoto Machida. And I am impressed that, man, he is not respecting Lyoto's striking ability at all. Lyoto hit him with a nice kick to the body there, and just coming straight forward, walking through Lyoto's offense to push him up into the cage.
Machida started under legendary pro wrestler Antonio Inoki and at one time faced BJ Penn, the Hawaiian icon, in a fight where Machida weighed 225 pounds, Penn weighed 191 pounds. Machida won via unanimous decision back in the day.
That was a long time ago when BJ was crazy enough to say, size does not matter.
Of course, BJ Penn and Inoue helping put Hawaiian MMA on the map, and of course we saw Max Holloway, masterful performance last week in retaining his UFC featherweight title. Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, undefeated Hawaiian flyweight champion, coming up in the main event. And of course BJ Penn continues his foray in MMA later this month as Machida catches Carvalho.
Yeah, he felt that kick, Moro. That, you know, he had his hand up there, but that went right through that glove and it rattled his cage. The one thing about Lyoto Machida with his kicks, while his kicks don't seem to land with as much power as some other guys at times, it's because he doesn't show it. He doesn't step into the kick. He's got a quicker release with no tells, so those are difficult to anticipate, and he gains his power through the accuracy of his placement.
Carvalho striking, marking up the face of Machida, and now attacking Machida's lead leg from southpaw position. Carvalho coming forward, Machida staying out of range. 2 minutes remaining in the second round. A lot of feinting from Carvalho. Machida picks him off. There's that front kick by Machida, Superman punch by Lyoto Machida, and that left hand staggered Machida. He felt it. Off balance, but it tagged him.
It touched him, but off balance. That's why he hit the ground.
Less than 90 seconds left in the second round, and Carvalho outstriking Machida. But again, Machida, we've seen this before, John. He wants to lull you in. Very effective counterattack.
Very effective. You know, look at, Lyoto's been accurate with his strikes, but you can see that Carvalho is now in a position where he's starting to say, I can walk through it. I think that I can bully you in this fight, and that's what he's trying to do.
Final minute of the second round. Carvalho continues to walk down Machida, but not a lot of offense. There's a kick, and that left a mark, and you can see the markings on the left thigh of Machida. Machida launches a kick.
Watch the fingers, watch the fingers. Stop. Time. Lyoto. Rafael, right there. Watch your fingers, okay? You're extending when he's coming out on you.
There's him sticking that hand out, that little finger going up into the eye. Again, normal that it's a defensive action, trying to keep the guy off you.
Both of you guys watch the
It is
fingers,
what happens in MMA.
By the way, we should mention that Carvalho missed weight, came in at 186.5 pounds, 20% of his purse going to Machida, and you wonder, in many ways, this could be a title elimination bout. Should Carvalho be rewarded? Should he defeat Machida? Should he get another crack at that title right away?
In my opinion, you come in heavy, you don't get a shot at anything. Your job, I tell people all the time, as a fighter, you have certain responsibilities. Making work is one of them.
Machida exploding on Carvalho, but didn't land anything as we go to the third and final round. While Carvalho's had weight issues coming into this fight from Machida the last few years, well, he's had his trials and tribulations, endured a 1-4 skid from 2014 to 2017, was forced to sit out 18 months for unknowingly taking a banned substance, and yet found his groove, comes into his Bellator debut with a 2-fight winning streak, and here it is, the third and final round. How do you have it on your unofficial scorecard?
Unofficially, I have this one round apiece, so right now it's 19-19. Whoever wins this round wins the fight.
And the two Brazilian compatriots touch gloves before renewing hostilities. Body kick lands for Carvalho. And a body kick for Machida from the southpaw stance, but it's Carvalho with the counterattack, and Carvalho in pursuit of Machida.
A lot of people look at that like he's running away from him. He is avoiding the attack. I don't like the way he avoids the attack, but he avoided it completely, so you got to say it was effective, even though you're going to give credit to Carvalho for having the attack.
Bull in the Matador. Front kick from Machida, follows up with the left.
When the horns are close, running is a pretty good option. Really interesting to see Carvalho in that southpaw stance now, and he's been staying in it. So obviously he's feeling comfortable with that matchup against Lyoto.
Oh, and there's a takedown by Machida on Carvalho with a minute gone here in the third and final round.
To me, that's an intelligent fighter right now because, in my opinion, Lyoto has a distinct advantage on the ground. A nice Kimura attempt right now by Rafael.
Carvalho is
not going to work the way he has it,
and
but
he's
at least
never
he's trying.
Submitted an opponent. Has 12 knockout victories in his 15 career wins. Machida has 2 submission wins, and he's been submitted twice, but Machida working from the half guard now.
Also creating a lot of shoulder pressure down here, Mauro.
Yep.
That's heavy. Sliding in the mount.
Full mount achieved by Machida.
And this is a position that Carvalho was in with Gegard Mousasi.
Yep. Less than 3 minutes remaining, but plenty of time for Machida to work from top position, but it's Carvalho controlling his posture. Shoulder strike from Machida.
There's a lot of weight right now riding down on Carvalho's diaphragm by the weight of Lyoto Machida. Trust me, with that grapevine, he's feeling like he's about 350 pounds.
And yet 2.5 minutes left in the fight. Referee asking for action. It's Machida from the full mount, but unable to get anything going here as it's Carvalho controlling his posture.
Yeah, what you're going to see is that left arm coming in to frame out, which is going to take and put pressure down on Carvalho so he can open up.
Forearm there to the face by Machida. Coming up on the final 2 minutes of the fight. Who wants it more? They're in a static position in the center of the cage.
Well, it's static as far as there's not a lot of action going, but Machida has all of the advantage right now.
He's posturing.
He can do the damage offensively while Carvalho has to get out.
Carvalho escapes.
Good job by Carvalho to get himself up and out.
Could very well come down to this final minute and a half. Machida with the body kick. Lead right hand closes the gap into the clinch. Machida defending the anticipated knee strike from Carvalho, and instead delivers a knee of his own.
Carvalho showing, you know what? That was right down the middle, man.
Over there,
That's
bro.
a boss route right to the pills.
Yep.
No,
And
stay right here.
jingle the
Stay right
bells
here.
here.
Get over there. Rafael.
The holidays upon us, but that does not feel good.
Up against the fence. Take a look at the knee. Comes straight up, right to that. He's trying to hit the thigh, but it's hitting the inside and right against the groin. That doesn't feel good. Boom, you can hear it. See, and that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize. The referee, when that cup gets hit, you can hear it. And that's why the referee quickly says time and separates the fighters.
Machida will be given up to 5 minutes to recover. Appears to be shaking it off.
You okay? Okay. You need to watch it, dude. You do it again, I have
I'm
to
very
take a point,
impressed
okay?
that
You understand?
what you saw at
All right.
Rafael Carvalho in
Ready?
getting himself up. He got in that same position we were talking about with Mousasi,
Time in.
and then made the mistake of turning his back. He didn't make that mistake with Machida. That's the maturity of a fighter.
Liver kick by Machida from the southpaw stance and the knee, and immediately Machida closes the gap. But from the clinch, takes Carvalho down. Under a minute left in the fight.
Bad mistake by Carvalho to let that happen. He brought his feet together. That's how Lyoto just tripped that foot out and brought him down. Carvalho has to feel a little bit of, there's urgency here. You cannot stay underneath him. Either start to swing into a submission or start to move yourself so you can get yourself up so you can do something to try to win this round.
30 seconds remaining. Machida with the wide base, looking to posture. Carvalho trying to control Machida. Carvalho on the bottom, and now the guillotine potentially there. The front choke by Machida.
He gets his hands right. He can take this as a guillotine. Can be pressure. He understands how to. Yeah.
Final 10 seconds of the fight.
Not going to be there.
And in his Bellator MMA debut, Machida.
That's tight now, Moro.
Goes the distance with Rafael Carvalho.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Your first judge, Mike Onzuka, scores the fight 29-28. He scores the fight for Machida. Your second judge, Eric Colon, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Carvalho. Your third and final judge at cage side, Ron McCarthy, scores the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Lyoto Machida.
A split decision, and Bellator MMA welcomes Lyoto Machida. Hard-fought victory over the former Bellator middleweight champion, Rafael Carvalho, but the Dragon is victorious in the Bellator MMA cage. Let's go to John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Lyoto the Dragon Machida. Lyoto, first thing, welcome to Bellator, brother. And second, your nose got broken at the beginning of that fight with a straight right hand. How did that affect you in this fight?
First of all, aloha everyone! So, Rafael, he's a tough opponent, so he gave me a hard punch, but I could take that. I don't know if I broke my nose, but no problem. I went to until the end of the fight. But what is important is never quit, guys. Don't let other people make you quit your dreams. Never give up. Thank you, guys.
This is your first fight in the Bellator cage. You got to win over a previous champion in Rafael Carvalho. Who is it that you want next?
Everybody, I want to the belt. I want that belt, guys. I want to be a Bellator champion. Let's see. So
it makes no difference. Whoever wins between Gegard Mousasi and Rafael Lovato Jr., that's the man you want.
I'll be ready for one of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Lyoto the Dragon Machida.